Ho, every one that thirsteth, come you for water, and he that hath no money, come you, buy and eat. Yes, come, buy wine and milk, without money, and without price. Welcome to Harbinger's Inkhorn. I give this message only at the beginning of the books, not each chapter. I have come to offer water in a thirsty place, to declare the former things, and the new which come forth now, to proclaim the year of the Lord's good pleasure. Read along at www.mechon-mamre.org. That's www.mechon-mamre.org. Go to the top of the page, click the English Bible at the top. Then you can select the book that we're in. If you ain't online, you can follow along with your King James Version. Some words will be a little different, but the meaning, it can't be missed. I ask that you forgive me when I commit an error.
Reading the book of Joshua this morning. Joshua picks up. Joshua was the servant of Moses. Joshua means salvation. Joshua, the servant of Moses, or his minister, takes over from Moses after Moses dies. And this is where the Joshua begins, when Moses dies. We've been standing there on the east side of the Jordan. Moses has directed the people, gave people all the law, reviewed all the law and some of their history with them. And now he's charged Joshua, or given command over to Joshua. He's transferred the staff to Joshua, the power, and God confirms that when he takes Moses and Joshua into the tent. Joshua becomes the new judge, or the new leader of Israel. And we're going to pick this book of Joshua up here just after Moses died. They've finished the time of mourning, 30 days of mourning. They mourned for Moses. Moses is buried, and we'll pick it up in verse 1, chapter 1. Now it came to pass, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, that the Lord spoke unto Joshua the son of Nun, Moses his minister, saying, Moses my servant is dead. Now therefore arise, and go over the Jordan, you and all this people, unto the land which I give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, to you I have given it, as I spoke unto Moses, from the wilderness and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your border. There shall not any man be able to stand before you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you, nor forsake you. Be strong and of good courage, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land which I swore unto their fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, to observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded you. Turn not from it to the right hand nor to the left, that you may have good success wheresoever you goeth. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate therein day and night, that you mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then you shall make your ways prosperous, and then you shall have good success. Have not I commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Be not affrighted, neither be you dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you, whithersoever you goest. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, Pass through the midst of the camp, and command the people, saying, Prepare your victuals, for within 3 days you are to pass over the Jordan, over this Jordan, to go in to possess the land, which the Lord your God gives you to possess it. And to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh spoke Joshua, saying, Remember the word which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, The Lord your God gives you rest, and will give you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall abide in the land which Moses gave you beyond the Jordan, but you shall pass over before your brethren armed, and all the mighty men of valor, and shall help them, until the Lord has given your brethren rest, as unto you, and they also have possessed the land which the Lord your God gives them. Then you shall return unto the land of your possession, and possess it, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you beyond the Jordan toward the sun rising. And they answered Joshua, saying, All that you have commanded us we will do, and whithersoever you send us, we will go. According as we hearkened unto Moses in all things, so will we hearken unto you. Only the Lord your God be with you, as he was with Moses. Whosoever he be that shall rebel against your commandment, and shall not hearken unto your words, and all that you commandest him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of good courage. All right, go back up here to verse 1. Now it came to pass after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, that the Lord spoke unto Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, and this is after Moses dies, God speaks to Joshua, and Joshua was the son of Nun. Moses' minister is who Joshua was. 2. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore, arise, go over this Jordan, you and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, to you I give it, as I spoke unto Moses. Every place the sole of your foot shall tread upon, to you have I given it, as I spoke to Moses. Because we'll remember in Deuteronomy, this is exactly what Moses said to the children. Every place the sole of your foot treads, God has given you. So God's relaying this message to Joshua now. And 4, he lays out the borders where it's basically at. This is the entire land, not divided up. From the wilderness, verse 4, and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your border. And this is from where they crossed the Jordan. There's 2.5 tribes on the east side of Jordan now, but from the Jordan River, we're talking here, all the way to the river Euphrates, and all the way to the sea on the west. There shall not any man be able to stand before you, in verse 5, all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so will I be with you. I will not fail you nor forsake you. And God's reassuring Joshua that there's no man be able to stand in front of him, that God is with him. And stand in front of him means they won't be able to come against him to fight. God's with him to fight. They won't be able to come against Joshua in understanding or in knowledge. Why? God's with Joshua. 6. Be strong and of good courage, for you shall cause this people to inherit the land which I swore unto their fathers to give them. And once again, we know this is exactly what Moses and God charged Joshua with in the book of Deuteronomy, when he says, you will cause this people to inherit this land. Joshua meaning salvation. I pointed this out in Deuteronomy, that salvation causes you to inherit this land, this promised land. And salvation comes from the obedience to God's law. Only be strong and very courageous, verse 7, to observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded you. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that you mayest have good success whithersoever you go, or wherever you go. So, and once again, he's letting Joshua know that this law, turn not from the right hand or to the left from it. Follow this law of Moses, exactly this law of God. Moses is one who brought the law and give it to us from God. And Joshua, make sure you follow this law. 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate therein day and night, that you mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then you shall make your ways prosperous, and then you shall have a good success. And notice again, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. This is what we go by. This is our understanding. This is our wisdom. This is our knowledge. We find this out in the book of Deuteronomy. But you shall meditate therein day and night. And this word meditate means think about it constantly. Let these laws be the governing body of your life. Constantly thinking about them, making sure you're following, that you may observe to do according to all that is written therein. See, because we have to study these things out, learning how to apply them slowly in our life, getting better and better, or stronger and stronger at the application of the law of God. For then, and only then, shall you make your ways prosperous, and then, only then, you shall have good success. When we get into the law of God, when we are obedient to God, we prosper. When we're obedient to God, we have success in life. 9. Have not I commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Be not affrighted, neither be you dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Now, and what God's doing, he says, he's telling Joshua, have not I commanded you? In other words, God himself commanded you. Be strong and of good courage. Be not affrighted, neither be you dismayed. So forget all the fear that comes from the inside of you. No, God has commanded you to follow this law, and God's going to go before you. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, and these officers are the heads of the tens, and the heads of the 50s, and heads of the hundreds, and heads of the thousands, which Moses appointed. They become the elders, and Moses appoints these. Of course, we have one member from each tribe who he's the head, and he's the speaker for each tribe. Joshua commands them. He says now, 11, pass through the midst of the camp, and command the people, saying, prepare your victuals, for within 3 days are you to pass over the Jordan, to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God gives you to possess it. He says, now, you elders, go through the camp, the midst of it, and tell all the people, prepare your victuals, or your food, get everything ready, because in 3 days, we're going to cross this Jordan River. 12, and to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites, and to the half-tribe of Manasseh, spoke Joshua, saying, 13, remember the word which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, the Lord your God gives you rest, and will give you this land. And remember, these are the 2.5 tribes that was on the east side of the Jordan, where Moses conquered Sihon and Og, the 2 Amorite kings that was on the east side of the Jordan, and give their land to Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. And this was their thing, only Moses told them, you'll have to go with your brothers over the Jordan to fight and help take their land as they help take your land here. See. 14, your wives, your little ones, your cattle, shall abide in the land which Moses gave you beyond the Jordan, over on the east side. But you shall pass over before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and shall help them. In other words, your wives and the children and all your cattle, they're going to stay over here in the land that you was given. But all the men able for war, able to fight, these men of valor, shall go across the Jordan and help their brothers take their land. So 15, until the Lord has given your brethren rest, as unto you. And they also have possessed the land which the Lord your God gives them. Then you shall return unto the Lord, land of your possession, and possess it, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave you beyond the Jordan toward the sun rising. Back over on the east side of the Jordan Sea, once you've helped your brothers conquer this land which the Lord your God sends you to conquer, sends you in to drive these other nations out because of their wickedness. This is why the children of Israel going in, we learned this in the book of Deuteronomy. And they answered Joshua, saying, all that you have commanded us, we will do. And wherever you send us, we will go. And that's pretty self-explanatory. These 2.5 tribes say back to Joshua, exactly as you speak, we will follow. 7, according as we hearkened or listened unto Moses in all things, so will we listen unto you. Only the Lord your God be with you, as he was with Moses. And they're telling Joshua, just like we listened to Moses, we're going to do just what you say. And let God be with you, just like he was with Moses. 18, and whosoever he be that shall rebel against your commandment, or not do what you tell him, and shall not listen unto your words, in all that you command him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of good courage. And this is the same thing God charged Joshua with. Be strong and of good courage. And he says here that anybody who goes against what you say, anybody that won't listen to what you say, Joshua, will put that man to death. Because they're trying to accomplish a great mission, and they don't have time for troublemakers. But we're going to find out that's exactly what they run into. A little bit of trouble. But we ain't going to jump over there yet. We're going to find that out in our next lesson, chapter 2. All right, let's move on.